Yay, we're on. Welcome, everybody, to live show number 576. Great to have everybody. Hello there, and welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom and Anastasia. How are you, Anastasia?
Hey,
Doing
sweetie
great?
pie, you look so good today. I love that color on you.
Thank you. I was going to say you look absolutely beautiful, but you always look beautiful.
We
And
look, listen,
seriously,
we look
you're a
beautiful
natural.
together. How about that?
Oh, thank you. Well, as always, today's live show discussion topics are anything you feel is newsworthy about anti-racism, anti-bigotry, inequality, corruption. And so we got a lot to talk about. To be honest with you, Anna, I was completely swamped this week with racism because it was, I couldn't keep up. You might have noted if you looked at my YouTube channel, I have like roughly 1 billion things going on there. It's too much. It's just too much. The show is meant to be an opportunity for viewers to speak their mind and also to serve as an educational tool in cultural competency with a focus on learning the truth about systemic racism in America. And there's a damn lot of truth to learn. And the problem is, I think, and I won't try to switch subjects, but most of us white folks don't realize that we don't know very much. And it's not really our fault, but once we kind of see what's going on, we got to kind of pay attention. We were bamboozled by our parents, by teachers, by the school district, by our neighbors, by everybody. And there is no instrument, there's nothing in place. If you're a white person and you don't happen to have very, very close friends who are Black, brown, indigenous, of mixed heritage, you can go your entire life without knowing a single thing if you don't want to specifically. Now, it doesn't mean you don't know what's going on. It just means you can stay in denial for the most part, which is extremely harmful.
Out today, not to interrupt your
That's okay.
monologue, but the thing about it, I was thinking, as a young man that said this, he said, you couldn't pay me to be a white person. The type of person you would have to be to know what you know and then still deny it. What I
Mhm.
also was thinking that
A lot of denial.
what what world do you live in where you can be the aggressor and the victim, and the world view of you is you are non-violent, peaceful, pure, nice in the aggregate.
Can I answer?
There's only outliners, right?
Call on me. Yeah. A
There's only
world.
outliners.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when it comes to Black people or anybody that's non-white, you are violent in the aggregate, even though there's no empirical data showing that.
Zero
Where,
empirical data. And how
so
that works is we have all the power, so we control the narrative.
it's like a delusion, this bubble. I was thinking
Mhm.
one day, I was like, you said that's respectability politics. Could you explain that? What do you mean by that?
Yeah,
The
I don't
thing
know what that
about
is.
it is, I know what respectability politics is, but I'm trying to figure out in what I was saying, what does
Right.
he or she mean by that? But to live in such a deluded world and not see anybody else, not think of anybody else, only to that and to serve you and be perfectly fine with that. That's a world.
Well, that's a really good question. It's a complicated question. And a lot of people will think, oh, you think racism, don't be racist. Because the problem is racism doesn't mean you hate Black people. That's the old fashioned. We're talking about a system. So when we talk in this show, we're talking about a system. We're not talking about you personally. So that is something incredibly important to remember. But yeah, we're talking about a system where we created the system and we control the narrative. We control the reality and the propaganda. Hey, Ron, thanks for being here. Yay. So, I mean, we're indoctrinated. White folks are, and some other people, not just white folks, are indoctrinated at birth. Now, people say, oh, angry soccer mom, what are you talking about at birth? A newborn. Oh, but listen. I will slightly explain and then I will go on because Anastasia, you know I can rant about this a lot.
No, I love what you're saying because at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, what's up, King Geo? What I'm saying is for you to go through the world and say you are around Black people
Mhm.
and still say, well, if they would have just complied. Do you really think this is my whole thing? Do you really think about it this way? That judge that called that man N Roach, do you really think she's surrounded by white people all day? Do you really think that?
She's
Or
a
do you?
judge now. No.
No, there's no way. Do
Mm-mm.
you really think these school teachers are surrounded with only white people and so they're insulated and still do the things that they do? So the thing about it is that I just feel like we give people too much credit and we give them a way out like, oh, they don't know. I don't believe that anymore. I don't.
Well, I mean, we've had tests of it. Like I say it again every time. Jane Elliott says to the giant audience of white folks, "How you don't know anything about racism?" And they're like, "Raise your hand." And then she says, "Raise your hand if you'd like to be treated the way we treat Black people in America today." And she's up there, putting on a show saying, "Hello, did you not hear me? But I thought you didn't know anything." We do know. It just depends, like what level of consciousness it is. Obviously, a child who's indoctrinated at birth. Let me explain really quickly. For example, I was born at Stanford University a long, long time ago. And no, I will not tell you the year, although some people know. Okay. I popped out, doing. First thing I saw, absolutely, whether I wanted to or not, was a male doctor, because in those days, that's what they were, a white male doctor. White male doctor. The next person I saw was probably a white female nurse. Okay. And the last person I saw, because I was probably nursing, but you never know, was someone Black, brown, or indigenous, or mixed heritage, or African American, because they were in the back doing all the cleanup. I'm old, okay? And that is indoctrination, okay? You don't have to be able to talk. You barely have to be able to see. That's how we start. And that's what I'm talking about. So that's kind of a concept for some people if they don't even realize that race is a human construct. It's made up. So I mean, this is deep stuff. This is not like lighthearted. Hi, Talanda, welcome. But let me just.
Thank you, Talanda. You look beautiful too from what I can see from your thumbnail.
She's awesome. I love T. Yeah. So as King Geo says, European thinking, and we do that because you see the people in power get to pretend we're the norm, and everyone else we other them. It's not our fault per se, like, because we are indoctrinated. But what happens is, once we get to a certain age, I don't care how mommy and daddy raised you, get a life. You can realize, like, wait a second, what the heck's going on? And you need to. It's just called acting human. Like,
Right.
And we're indoctrinated not just by the people at the hospital. I'm talking media. I mean, you guys. That's a whole, like, 20 shows in itself. But let's see if we have some comments here. Let me see. And jump in anytime, Anna. Just don't mind me yapping away.
Oh, no problem. I love you. You're not yapping. I mean, the thing about it is, this is the way I look at it is that I don't know what it is to be white. I don't want to be white. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I shouldn't have to tell a rapist why sexually assaulting me is bad. So why should I have to have a conversation with a white person on why racism is bad? Why?
You're not responsible. The person who is enduring it day in and day out, little bits, big bits, small bits, never know when it comes. It's like terrorism. To teach the person doing it to you? Oh, no. You're enduring it. That's quite enough. It was kind of interesting. Oh God, I'm getting so off topic. Do you mind?
Go ahead, dude.
On oh gosh, I was on one of the social medias. It was actually for work. Probably shouldn't say that, but and somebody said that people who are racist at work, overtly racist and do racist stuff and say racist stuff and should be fired. And somebody, they're trying to learn, and I am all for people trying to learn, said, what if they're a big contributor in other ways? And my laugh alone did not suffice, because you see, the toxicity, the venom, the poison, the cruelty, the inhumanity, that allowing somebody like that to stay, I don't care what they had to the company. No, it's not. There are levels. Like, what toppings do you want for your pizza? Sure, I don't like that topping, whatever, let's agree to disagree.
Right.
Not my friggin' humans, fellow humans, civil rights. My God.
Right.
So that's
Right.
like, she just didn't get it. And it was a really interesting conversation. Everyone was very polite. It was a very polite.
The polite racism is what gets me. Like, you remember I tell you, I get that a lot. I get the polite racist. Oh my God, you're so colorful. Okay. Or, oh my God, we're so glad you're here at a protest. Like, why are you so glad I'm here?
Because they own the protest, and you're,
I validated them for some reason. I don't know, because it was all white people and I was the only black person there. So I guess now it was like, oh, like what? Or it was like, the constant questions, like I told you, are you really from Africa? Or like, are you really from Cleveland? Where are you really from? Like,
yeah,
come on, bro.
Yep. And you know what's another one? I definitely see some great comments. I got to read. I'm blabbing too much. No, I totally get what you're saying. A lot of my friends get this, and I don't know what you think of this. Not everybody has the same. I mean, there's no monolith. It's, whatever bugs you, whatever you think. But usually when you think it, it's probably it. There's not a lot of, it's pretty obvious after a while. Your skin is so beautiful. That's what people do. Okay. Hello. My friends get
Yes,
that.
I
It's
get
like,
that all the time. Or, how old are you? And
oh,
then I tell them how old I am. Like, you don't look old enough. And as today I was watching it. I'm gonna tell a little story real quick. I know we're off topic and off script,
I started.
as usual. But you remember that show Maud with B. Arthur? You
Yes,
remember
I didn't
that?
watch it, but I definitely know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. And you remember Florida Evans was her maid. The lady from the you don't know the lady from Good Times was
Okay.
Maud.
Okay.
She
Yes.
was
Yes.
she was Maud's maid. And so they were talking, and she was like, women of our age. She was like, you don't know how old I am. And she was like, y'all hate it, don't you? You hate not knowing how old we are, but we definitely know how old y'all are.
That's so funny, because actually the truth is, most white folks don't get the reason why. They don't understand melanated skin. They don't understand the evolution of how people survived. And so it's like, I have a couple videos on it, but so it's probably a little confusing, but it's tough. And we talk pretty openly here, but I want to, in general, somebody wants to learn. Most people, and I've found this to be the case over the years, they are absolutely willing to teach you. We're not saying don't ask. We're not saying, it's not like we're not being rude. It's just the rude shit, the racist stuff. It's like, if you want to learn, there are ways to learn. Personally, I feel like it's white folks' responsibility to not the people. I feel like it's our responsibility. We did this. We started it. It's not that big of a responsibility if everyone would help and do it. It's just no one wants to. And like one of the persons said, let me back. Let me see. Oh my gosh, I'm bad. I gotta go back. Okay. I'm all the way at the end. I missed it. Where am I? If the system, Alfred, thank you. If the system is working for you, then you're blind to the inequality of it. And it is easy to just live in your bubble, go about your life. I know, I mean, I wasn't raised with Black people. I wasn't raised with brown people. I was raised with television. I was raised with a television that my parents used to watch the 11 o'clock news every night when I was a little kid. And guess what I used to sneak down and see? And they don't do this anymore. But this is what they did when I was 3 and 4. The 11 o'clock news in Michigan, okay, Michigan again. Sorry, Michigan, I'm not trying to diss on Michigan. Showed a lineup of black people in cuffs with police and lights and oh my God, the excitement. And they'd have these lines that blocked out their eyes like, oh, now we don't know who they are. And as a 2, 3, 4, and 5-year-old, I'm sneaking up going, what is going on there? What do I see? I see night after night, black people with lots of police around them who are handcuffed, who I can't see their eyes. That's indoctrination. It doesn't take much. So anyway.
They don't, the funny thing about it is, as you're getting up to the comments, we don't see a lot of white collar, rich people doing the perp walk because they get to decide when they're going to turn themselves in. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
I get to McDonald's first, or Burger King. Is that what you mean?
You said what?
They get to go to McDonald's or Burger King first, and then they decide when.
Yeah, they get to go to Burger King, McDonald's, maybe Ruby Tuesdays before they go. Or you get to spend a whole year with your family. Because I was watching something about the January 6th terrorists, and he's saying it's a problem on my family for me to be in jail.
Oh,
yeah,
well, by all means.
And I'm like, yeah, it's a problem for everybody that you went up there and did what you did. And the judge said, were you thinking about your wife and kids when you went up to Washington, D.C. and did what you did? Was you thinking about your wife and kids then? You'll shit your ass in jail.
Yeah, well, it's, the whole, the difference in the justice systems are just, it's if I wasn't living it and somebody told me about this, I'd be like, oh, come on, there's no way. It's ridiculous.
Imagine this. We've talked about this before. If America was browner, we would have already invaded America.
Yes, exactly. We were talking about this. I don't know if we were on or off the live show, but we were saying, if any other country did this, pulled this bullshit that we do here with this human rights stuff, while we're speaking at the other side of our mouth about liberty and justice for all. Yeah, sure, it's an ideal, but seriously, this nation could be amazing. This nation has such potential. Oh my God, that's the part that just kills me. This nation could be the leader in humanity, civil rights, forward thinking, progressive, how to treat our fellow humans like they matter, how to treat our fellow humans like humans. But nope. Wouldn't want to do that. We want money. It's like, Jesus. We'd be invaded. We would invade ourselves.
This is the thing. Even our allies, because I was watching today,
they're like,
how with Saudi, and the fact of the matter is those people that killed and dismembered Jamal Khashoggi, they're in a 7-star hotel. Like the person said, I didn't even know there was a 7 stars to begin with. But okay. But those people came from Saudi Arabia. But that's an ally of ours. We sell
Turkey to do it.
Right.
To do it. Right. Uh-huh.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Then the second thing about it is that let's talk about the human rights violation that happens in Saudi Arabia that we just ignore. You know why? Because that's a quote unquote ally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's complete bullshit all the way around.
It's all about the money. I mean, we could go on. It's all, I mean,
yes.
I mean, I don't want to get into it, but if you don't, but while we're on the topic, the people that weren't allowed to come into our nation, they weren't even the people that were responsible for harboring the 9/11 folks. I mean, the whole thing is just ludicrous. Things have to make sense, and they just don't. So let me see. Humble Gambler. Let me take a couple before I got the number to call in. I'm going to ask everyone to just take a few minutes if you call in. And I'll hang up on you. No, I won't. Doink. But let me see. The obsession with niceness, politeness, mainly centering everything around appearing well-to-do and suburban. That, yeah, okay. That's, I'm not sure. I don't remember what context we were talking about that in, but I know we do have that. We don't like to keep things real.
Respectability politics. Because remember, I asked the question about
Mm-hmm.
really
Okay.
talking about respectability politics.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that's another, you are correct about that, gamer. But when I'm talking about when I hear you say respectability politics, I think of Rosa Parks versus Claudette Colvin, where Claudette Colvin was actually before Rosa
But
Parks.
nobody, right? But nobody. She
because
wasn't. She didn't have the looks and the whole.
Exactly. She was a dark-skinned female, and she was an unwed teenage mother, and
So
they
that
didn't
wouldn't
think it was a good. It wouldn't have worked.
Right.
So they had to get somebody that was more respectable.
Mm-hmm.
And the story with Rosa Parks, they keep telling that she was tired, and this is what it. No, she was an NAACP worker that actually babysat for Emmett Till. That actually she was only 42 years old. She wasn't tired. She was just sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Absolutely right. But she
about
wasn't
racism.
She wasn't like an elderly 80, 90-year-old person who really wouldn't. Right. No, she was chosen because she's beautiful and she knew what she was doing and was going to do. This stuff's just crazy. It's really crazy. But yeah, there's a fine line between. I could go on. Oh, I am on a rampage tonight.
I'm sorry. She was an NAACP lawyer. Sorry.
Oh, she was an attorney? Okay. I did not know that. Excellent. So let me see here. What do we got? Humble gambler. Oh no, I did that one. Oopsie. I'm losing it. So how do we? So King Geo, how do we change someone's thoughts of thinking? 400 years. Not much has changed. Personally, we have to. Okay, this is my take, and I'm not trying to make it all like white centered, but people, for the love of God, 3 out of 4 white folks in America today, adults, do not have a single close friend who's not white. So how in the hell would we know anything about systemic racism unless we took it upon ourselves to study? Certainly not taught in school. If you think it is, well, now it's whitewashed, it's deleted, you have to. There's no mechanism for us to educate ourselves as white folks. Our parents aren't going to teach us unless you're really lucky. I mean, there'll be some, but it's not even, it's the smallest number you could think of. I mean, let's be real. Our nation is created to indoctrinate into white supremacy for the use with capitalism. And there's capitalism on steroids today. And it is not a wonder that racism is it's so hard to stop because it's a system. So, okay, I'm blabbing, but let's keep taking a couple. But thank you. Great comments as always. Let me see here. I see what I'm doing wrong here. Dave, hello. Sorry, I didn't say hello to you. I'm happy you're here. Right. The same way, King Geo, the same way white people say, how can I be racist? I have a black friend. It's like, no. If you don't understand that, you don't have a black friend. You know a black person. Okay. Just saying. There's it. I'm a little snarky tonight, eh?
Being a little sassy, giving them a little cha-ching, cha-ching.
You know what? I haven't had a lot of sleep, and that gets ugly. It does. I'll tell you. Oh, I think I'm fun. I guess that's all that matters. Jamie, welcome. King Geo, according to the Republicans and Fox News, systemic racism doesn't exist. Oh, my laugh alone does not suffice. Yeah, Eddie, aloha from Maui, Hawaii. Oh my God, I want to go there. Yay! Thanks for being here. So, should we start the show? Or
I mean, the show has started already, baby. Let's get it. I mean,
okay.
Listen. You are hot and popping, and let's do it. Because you got your show. Look here, you got your shoulders out and everything. I ain't never seen you with your shoulders out like that.
Look
here.
Oh God, if you only knew. I was going to tell you.
And to go to what King Geo said. First of all, Fox News is a entertainment opinion station. We can't say they're news. And the fact of the matter is, they went to court, and the judge even said it, that if you believe Tucker Carlson, if you believe Hannity, if you believe any of these people, you're super stupid.
Basically, they threw it out because they said anyone who
threw it out was like, you actually believe these things,
which is like so it's a little enraging because actually some people really do. And it's really strange. And if I get into it, I'll start screaming. So I'm not going to.
Right.
But we'll get into it a little bit tonight, maybe because of the video I'm gonna show.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
Let me see. Dave, I posted an article about a black activist in Florida who was arrested on one of Governor DeSantis' press conferences. All he did was ask a question, and I don't believe the charges were dropped. Dang. Well, you're gonna have to send me that. Send me that on my Facebook page on like Angry Soccer Mom Facebook page, because I would love to see that stuff. Because I didn't see that. Thank you, Dave. And Jamie. Hi, Kimberly. I am so blown away that they found Aztec pyramids in Wisconsin. Our ancestors were here first and the true inhabitants of these lands. He sent me something on it, and I said I was going to look at it tonight. Because thank you so much, Dave.
Well, this is the thing, that white people cannot say they was the first people anywhere. They can't say it anywhere.
We weren't first because we weren't created first.
You weren't created first. It was through mutations and through genetics. Mm-hmm. And this is the thing. This is the thing, like I like to tell people. I am not saying I'm better than you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you cannot start with yourself because you didn't exist before a couple of 100 years ago. Just like we talk, white people as they are now did not exist. It didn't happen. Italians as white people didn't happen until a couple of 100 years ago.
It's a made-up term.
It's a made-up term. That's why there's no such thing as white culture, because it's not a thing.
It was created. Right. Very good. That's excellent.
Now, if you want to accept unseasoned chicken and raisins and potato salad, go right ahead.
What are you trying to say? Is that our culture? Oh my God, you're so funny. I love it. So today in history, this is like incredibly sad. And I have a video on the 10 of the massacres that have occurred. People think, oh, Black Wall Street. Oh, that was just one of them. Just one out of hundreds. And I will, before I get to those other hundreds, I've done 12 of them on my videos, but it's so upsetting. I can't do them like constantly, and what I mean do them is make people aware of them by, doing a video on them or something like that. So Rosewood, the Rosewood Massacre is an attack on predominantly African-American town of Rosewood, Florida, 1923 by large group of white aggressors. Now I'm gonna completely make this a beautiful, lovely thing, and then we're gonna let Anna take over. This is what you'd read in a little. Sorry, Anna, you're throwing you under the bus. The town was entirely destroyed. I mean, what I'm trying to say is I'm going to sanitize it a little, and then we can get deeper and deeper, because this show is for white folks. Who am I to teach Black people? Sorry, that's ridiculous. How would I know more than people living this? I don't want to get into it. But of course, we have lots of different people watching this, and that's absolutely fine, and we love it. But I do not teach Black, brown, or indigenous. No. So I'd like to start a little bit more beginner, because a lot of white folks need that. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to learn, you're a gazillion miles ahead of most others. So the town was entirely destroyed by this violence, and the residents were driven out permanently. They lost everything. The story was almost forgotten. Now, when I say forgotten, that's a very sanitized way of saying whitewashed the hell out. In other words, so much systemic racism. We get to choose what we write about. We get to choose what you read in your textbooks in school. We get to choose a lot. And it was revived and brought to the public attention, according to this article. But no. Take over.
It's
anniversary, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't He's Alfred Strange said there's a mechanism to educate whites about blacks. It's called the HBCU. This is the thing. It should not be on the students or the faculty of the HBCU to teach white kids. Now, let's be clear. Nowadays, there are more white and Asian, and Hispanic I mean, I call them children because, they're kids to me that go to these schools. There's actually an all white HBCU, which
That's
is
interesting.
crazy. Yeah, it really is. There's an all white HBCU. And so I don't think it's their job to teach that. Now, let's be clear about certain things. Even in HBCUs, they believe in respectability politics. So certain things they're not going to even teach. Trust me.
Interesting.
So, you can go into black circles where there'll be like, what's the name of that movie? School Days, where it's like, I don't want to talk about slavery. I don't want to talk about all of these things. We're upstanding people. We're the talented 10.
Oh, geez.
So you got to remember that even within the black community, there are separations.
Can I ask you a question? Are you trying to say that even within the black brown community, there are people who don't want to associate with those types because you see they've bought into this bullshit. They've bought into this. Wow, and it's not because they're sick and tired of talking about
Look at Herschel Walker. Look at his son. Look at what's the dude? Herman Cain. Look at Candace Owens. The thing about it, you don't have to go that far to find these people that are like, like W.E. Du Bois and them started the Talented 10. Booker T. Washington was even like, we shouldn't worry about, these people, these white people. We should study agriculture and they can lead the country in certain things like that. So even when it comes to northern and southern,
well, he was controversial. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, like when I went down south, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's a privilege to being like, why do you talk like that? What do you're free. There's a privilege to that because we in certain cases didn't have to live under that type of oppression. Now don't get me wrong. I might not have had the dude with the stars and bars, but I had the guy that didn't want to pick me up in a cab. I had that guy. I had the women that followed me through the stores. So it's just a different etiquette, a different flavor to their racism.
Yeah, it's incredible. Racism, systemic racism, and some of the behaviors that go with it. It's changed over time and morphed and warped to fit these social allowance, whatever the society will allow up to. But it's still right there. It's just a little harder to recognize overtly. Like, no, there's not somebody burning a freaking cross on your lawn. No. However, they might, maybe the mail carrier, no offense to mail carrier, might do this or that. Maybe the neighbor might have their dog do something. It's all very, it's a lot of deniability. Oh my God, lots of deniability. What are you talking about? I would never.
We lived in Alaska and we had a white woman. And for me, I feel like white women are the most dangerous because they come with the sweetness, they come with the, you know what I'm talking about.
Cry.
Exactly.
Make white men very, very
right. And the thing about it is she used to have her dog shit on our lawn every day. And one day I caught her every day.
Mm-hmm. I believe it. That's and you can never prove it. You can't read her mind, but people, and that's the thing. The deniability. It's just enraging. It's I call it like bullshit is what I call it. Just it's a toughie. It is a toughie. Yeah, Garrick, we were talking about this just, I don't know if you were there, that the term white was used as for Polish, Irish, Italian, and other Europeans to go against blacks, right? To gather up racism's power to divide and conquer other ethnic races and to learn to be racist against African Americans. Yeah, and absolutely. And it was made up. And is it really Bluefields? Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Dang, I learned.
Look it up. It's because what it is that this is what happened. When once Black people were quote unquote allowed to go to these white colleges, they went and they left the HBCUs. But the issue is Albert Einstein taught at HBCUs a lot during World War II. A lot of those Jewish professors and scholars only had a home at HBCUs, right? So you had great minds coming in there because they were not considered white, right? But what happened was the same thing that always happens when Black people feel like the white man's ice is colder than their own. I want to go over there and I'm gonna allow myself to be beat. I'm gonna allow myself to be disregarded. I'm gonna allow myself because I want to see what's going on over there. Me, I don't feel that way. So it is whatever. You know what I'm saying?
There's a big push to and the indoctrination is real. It's not just
right.
Yeah.
And so the thing about it is that so when all of these students left the HBCUs, which were cheaper, which had a greater depth and breadth for teaching the students, white people and Asians went.
Yeah, we're still in this free market stuff, and it's crazy. That's interesting. I'd like to read more a little bit about the transitioning, and that's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Look, that's what happened. It's just like when you have Black schools, like public schools, and you have the hotels and all of these things. Once you got the Inkwell and Bruce Beach, and you had Idlewild. All of these Black communities closed down, and white people, all they did was snatch it right on up.
Bruce's Beach, I don't know if people know about that. It was given back. Was that Manhattan? Manhattan, California.
That was California.
Yeah,
yep.
Manhattan Beach, California.
Manhattan, California. Yes.
Yeah. And finally, the family was given back their freaking land, which was beachfront property, and it's just some crazy stuff going on here. But the bottom line is, if you're a white person today, there's no mechanism out there that's going to teach you all that you need to know to truly understand systemic racism. The mechanism is you. And as white folks, that's on us. We do not, I'm sure I've had so many great mentors. Oh my God. I mean, everyone here who helps me learn every day. But it's not their responsibility. It's a gift. No. If a Black or brown or indigenous person of mixed heritage, African-American, non-white person tells you a part of their experience, their emotions, their heart, what happens to them in life, we white folks need to shut up and listen. And I don't mean that rudely, but it is a gift. They are telling us how it really is. And we will never have to experience it like that. So you got to listen. It's really important. So there's a video of a white lady, I think she was a government official or something, who got mad about the Hershey's Kisses Christmas commercial. I don't remember what that was, but you can tell.
No. What happened was there's a commercial. No, there's a commercial. No, it just happened. It just happened.
Yeah, I realized she means it just happened.
It just happened. And the thing about it is that it was a Black man and his Black daughter. It was a Hershey's commercial. And it was like, why? Basically, she said, why do we have to keep seeing all these Black people? And it was like, how come we don't see any more white people in commercials?
Oh,
what are you talking about? What are you talking about? 90% of commercials are white people or is interracial couples. So you're mad because one commercial.
Well, it's kind of interesting. I just read an art, very interesting. I read an article in was it LinkedIn, And it was about a person who's a specialist, and she was actually it was a man. He was saying, he was talking with one of his friends who they were both African American men, and he didn't tell us that. He just said, my friend wants to know what is going on with all the Black people in commercials. And you should have seen the string under that. It was really interesting. And then he said, surprise, it was one of my Black friends. And apparently there is a thing, and I mean, we're in a capitalist society where, think about, you know how we got Juneteenth as a federal holiday now? We still have systemic racism in every freaking area of everything we do, but we have federal holiday for Juneteenth when all the enslaved humans were actually allowed to be humans again. So
actually, that's not true either, because there were still slaves, enslaved people, even after Juneteenth.
Up to actually the 70s, they say.
Right, exactly.
I mean, so in general, I mean, in the US in general, yeah. Don't you make me wrong. Yeah, I know what you mean though. Yeah, no, there were places in the 70s that you don't even want to know. Just look it up online. You'll read articles.
Louisiana, Will can say it. Louisiana.
Oops, I'm not going to say it. You can say it. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say is a lot of the article went on to talk about the idea that that's a really cool way to be really disingenuous and make a feel happy company. We have Black people in our commercials. Okay. We certainly don't want to serve you, but I don't know that to be true. Okay. But I'm just saying that was part of the discussion. But
I mean, I agree with you. Think about it this way, that you have all of these high-end labels, Dolce Gabbana, you know, all Vogue, all of these. The thing about it is that they don't give Black people representation. They give or power. They give Black people visibility. That's a great way to put it.
That's a great way to put it. And I just want to know, is this another Juneteenth type thing? Or are they really? Yeah. And I'm sorry to say, I probably for the most part it is. I can't answer individually, but in general, I'm not buying it because our society's not buying it. So just saying, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying watch for superficial bullshit.
And it is superficial because at the end of the day, once they have all these diversity hires, meaning that they have these people that's supposed to teach diversity. But once you make a white woman cry, or once you make a white man feel uncomfortable, you're fired. That just happened just recently.
All bets are off.
That the guy, the man was a diversity.
Sanitized. It's sanitized. Huh?
Yes,
it's sanitized for us. It's sanitized for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Looks like I'll never get a job because I don't think I can do that. Oh, well. Great. I didn't mean to cut you off, but okay, so today's topics, 10 hours later. Today's topic, number one, why aren't more white people actively supporting anti-racism? And I don't mean like going, yay, I'm in a picture on Facebook. I don't mean like, I'm the hero, I save people. No, I mean truly in their hearts saying, this is baloney. I will not sit here and just watch and condone it. I'm going to get out there and when I see something, I'm going to say something about it. I know what to say because I've learned, I've educated myself. I get this stuff. I'll be constantly learning, moving up the anti-racism continuum my entire life. It's worth it. It means something to me. It's, I don't know, say what you want to say to yourself, just do it. That's one of the topics today. The other topic is tomorrow's the first, in a couple hours, actually, I guess, the first anniversary of, I don't want to say anniversary because it makes it sound like a good thing, but a year ago tomorrow, basically, some people decided that they didn't believe in our Democratic Republic anymore and that they were going to try to overthrow an election. And I made a video on it, and I made the video so damn fast. I bet there's I didn't even get to review it. So give you a good laugh maybe, but I wanted to play that and then stop every once in a while and let people comment and have people, Anna, you tell me what you think and whatnot. And then the last part was, what will happen tomorrow and what will happen for the midterms and what's going to happen in 2024, we have many, many people threatening our politicians and our government servants. Hundreds and hundreds. I spent most of today reading about these articles on all the incredible influx of threats. And, we got this like whole free speech thing going on, and I'm all for it. But the difference between free speech and threatening, it's terrorism. I mean, Jesus, people. And so a lot of these things are not really, the police really aren't able to do much, or if they want to, or, the authorities aren't able to do much, because there is a fine line in this country. Whereas some of our other countries that are like, our buddies to England, to Australia, they have a little more rigorous rules for people who spew nastiness. And I'm not saying we should have that, but, I'm just saying we don't. And
well, you gotta think about it this way. I make the laws. Why would I make a law that's going to hurt me? Period.
right.
We
Right.
know that, like, I mean, come on, like, it's not gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
Yeah. Like I say, I don't say it happily. I don't say it trying to be rotten, but white America, we have a depraved love affair with systemic racism. It's sick. We will be racist even if it means we hurt other white people.
But you know what? I was watching something, and I forget, it was a lawmaker, like, because up into the 1930s, welfare, if it was only for white people, which it was, well, it wasn't only for white people. It was only what is it? Agricultural workers and domestic workers were singled out. And
They
the
were kept out of
majority,
it.
right.
Yeah,
The
they were
Social
kept out of
Security
it.
Act and all that, right.
People don't know that. There was no
Right.
welfare for people who were working in. Gee whiz, I wonder why.
Right. So they said domestic workers and agricultural workers, which were mainly Black people and non-whites, whatever that was. So they didn't expressly say it, but the fact of the matter is they had no problem with welfare. They had no problem with women staying home and us paying for it. It
What's de
was
facto
only
versus de jure? I mean, it's
right,
what happens versus the law, and the law doesn't
right,
say what you see.
right. You already know who it hurts.
Of course.
So at the end of the day, when we're talking about these things, white people don't mind handouts. They just mind when other people are getting the handouts. And
Non-whites.
here comes Ronald Reagan with the welfare queen. And like you said, go ahead and say your LGBT
BTQ.
no, LJB.
Oh, Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson quote.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I'm like, what?
Yeah, LBJ. That's what I meant to say.
Oh, I'm like, what? I'm like going off to every acronym I know. I don't know. Sorry. But yeah.
A white person will let you pick their pockets.
Oh, I read it. I read
Go
it.
ahead.
I read it. Like I never have it ready, but I'm always ready for it. Oh my gosh. I always find it again, and I don't find things I'm sorry to say, but like it's like permanently fixed on here. It's antiquated, it's rude, but it's true. This is what Lyndon B. Johnson said, and for good or for bad, it's true, and it's a disgusting thing to say, but it's true. I'll say it again. It's true. It is. If you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best, oh my God, I just lost it. Oh, that's nice. It says discover, and no, I'm not reading the. Okay, if you can get like an advertisement, if you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him someone to look down upon, and he'll empty his pockets for you. Damn, advertisement popped up right in my face. Sorry, threw me off. But yeah, this is not a new gig. This is the same thing. It's the same thing over and over. Okay, so I have great news to tell everybody. Our very own Anastasia sent me a video today, and I'm assuming you did it like a while ago, right? And it is, or it's like, I loved it. It was so perfect. So we get to watch it. Is that okay? Because it fits the.
That is okay. Go ahead, do it.
I want to make sure, because like I just thought, oh my God, this is. Thank you so much for saying this. So let us put our attention over to. Let me see if I can do this. I can do this.
You can do it.
Uh-oh, maybe. You never know. Okay. Boop. Hopefully.
We do have white accomplices, but not enough. The fact of the matter is, what's always thrown in our face, they're killing more white people. Then why the hell are you not mad here? 2. Jeremy Martis, he was 6 years old. Daniel Schaefer, he was in a hotel begging on his knees and he got shot. Justine Diamond called the cops and was killed. So my thing about it is, white accomplices, white aligning people, that means those Asians, that means those Hispanics, those Latinx, they killing you too. Christian was killed in California. He was a security guard and they shot him for doing his job. Adam Toledo, he was 13 years old. He was shot doing what the cops told him to do. It affects all of us.
Very nice. Thank you. Our very own lovely Anastasia. I thought that was an awesome video.
I was at a protest.
Yeah, no,
That's where I was at. I was at a protest in DC for a Black man that was shot sleeping in his car.
Damn.
Sleeping in his car.
I saw that, and I was, the minute, I don't know when I saw that, but I was like, oh my God, I am so posting that. It's awesome. It says it all.
Yeah, it was a Black man. He was sleeping in his car and they just shot him. And actually they had killed like 3 or 4 other Black men that week. Like, so it was not just one person. It was just like, wow, dude, really? That's what you're doing? And then think about it, like I said, they're always spouting this crap about, oh, they kill more white people. You know why they kill more white people? Because there's more white people in this country. Mm-hmm. So if that's the case, why are you not out here?
Right. Why aren't we enraged too? Why?
Because white people don't like white people. That's why. Because white people don't care about white people.
And I'll go right back to what we're saying. As long as they're hurting Black folks, then
we don't care.
You don't care. I don't get it. It's a strange thing. It's really bizarre. So what do you guys think? If you're watching right now, what do you think? What's wrong? I mean, what's wrong with us? We have a white person problem. We really are in love with this whole racism stuff. And it might not be you personally, but you see, it's a system. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's if you're white, it's not about us. It's about a system that we were born into that we should really help to make it stop. Okay. It's like, you can't be neutral. Being neutral is for the pro aggressor, pro racist, pro, I don't know what to say. So there's that. So anyone wants to jump in and say anything about that? I don't know why we do it. I think, there's a lot of reasons why we do it. I'm not going to play psychiatrist here, but I know one reason is, well, and this is not a huge reason, but it is a reason. And it's not a big reason, but it's definitely a reason with some of those people who consider themselves to be white liberals and real left. We don't know what to say. Okay. Number one, we haven't educated ourselves. We get the whole wrong, right, whatever, but we don't want to say the wrong thing because maybe we'll sound racist. And that's true. Maybe we will sound racist. You have to be courageous. And you know what? You're going to screw up and you're going to feel like I'm a total idiot, but you're going to learn from it. You're going to tuck your tail or whatever. Like you're going to drop your ego at the door and you're going to say, oh my God, I really meant, and it's kind of a blow because, and yes, somebody might think you're racist. Mm-hmm. And you might lose friends, you might, but learn from it. You got to be courageous, willing to take a chance. And if you can do that, you can learn to teach other people. Another reason, Alfred, fear. Now, I'm not sure what kind of fear you're talking about. I know for a fact a lot of people are afraid because we see what these other white folks do. We're afraid. We're afraid they're going to do something to us. The Klan had a pecking order too, and that was race traders. But they didn't know what race is, but that's a whole other, So
but you're right though, because the thing about it is like you said, there's a pecking order, and a race trader is the top of the list.
Yeah.
Then it's everybody else. And let's guess who's the next person? A Jewish person.
Jewish person's next.
A Jewish person. And the thing about it is, the crazy thing about that is that the reason why I can say that is because I have a race trader sitting up in my house, and they will attack him. No, I'm being completely serious.
Absolutely.
We can be walking together at a protest, and they'll attack him before they attack me.
So get why you're there, but not.
Well, right. yeah, we know why you're there.
Great. But what in the world
are you?
Somebody actually wrote to me, Anastasia. People write to me, and this I am not kidding. I have had more than maybe like a handful of people over the years write to me and say, "You do realize you're white, don't you?"
Right.
And like stuff like that, or you're going against your own race. You really shouldn't do that. You do realize that you're going to get in trouble for going against your own race. And I'm like, oh my God, we're all
going to get in trouble because what?
I've had people say, I hope a black man rapes you. I've had, it's like
statistically, you'll be raped by a white man before you will a black man. Statistically, you will be raped by a white man.
Yep, I know.
So
I know, but
what?
But they're hoping because then I can, because all people who are racist had a bad incident, and that's why they're racist. No, that's not why. Most people are racist and never met a black person in their life.
Exactly.
Give me a break. They just saw it on TV once and thought it seemed cool. And whatever.
And this whole thing about black men raping white women. See, that's the whole thing. That's what it comes down to. We talked about this already.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we talk about it all the time.
Huh?
We talk about that all the time.
We talk about it all. Yeah, because the simple fact of the matter is that it's about white men and a penis contest. That's what it's about. Let's be clear. When they lynched these black men, what was one of the things that they cut off?
Yep.
The penis.
And kept as souvenirs.
And kept them as souvenirs.
And sometimes when they weren't dead yet.
Right. They would, the skin, they would eat the skin. Nat Turner, they made his body out of a salve or whatever the case may be. They literally ate pieces off of black people. So what does that tell you? Like, there's a book about it. Remember, I sent it to you, the Delectable Negro. Remember, I sent that to you.
I can't even. See, here's the thing. When people who are beginners, and they're like the white folks who are beginners listening to us, they're going to think we're crazy because there's an order of operations. Like when somebody says something like that, and you know really like very, very, very little about systemic racism, we look like the crazy ones. Like, what? And they go running. The first thing that'll happen if you tell them about race as a human construct, that'll get their head spinning. But if you start with they lynched human beings and chopped off their body parts while they were alive and then kept them they'll be like, okay, that's just, see, because we are indoctrinated into the lie. We don't know our real racial history. Not even close. Not even close. Yeah. We don't know the depth. And until we learn the depth of what happened in our past, we cannot relate to anything, the repercussions currently in our modern day, because we don't know. We don't know what we're talking about. And so that is the way we keep one way we keep systemic racism alive is by, what are you talking about? Oh, it's the classic line is, oh, slavery was so long ago. What do you think happened from slavery till now? And it's still happening. Oh my God.
Slavery is still legal according to the 13th Amendment. That's why
I got something to tell you. My daughter today.
Yes.
Read in her class.
Yes.
And she said, I couldn't believe it. I almost fainted. I'm like, did I teach you that? Or did they teach you that? Did I teach you that? I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just so excited. She said, slavery is illegal except if you are. And she said, I was like, did I teach you that? Or she goes, no, I learned it in class. I was like, very nice. Okay. I didn't learn that in class.
Neither did I. The only thing that they always told us, the 13th Amendment freed the slaves. You know, when I really, and I was in the army for quite some time. When I first read it was when I seen that movie, The 13th. And I was like, oh shit. Wow. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those riddles and jokes where you overthink certain things and then it's written right there. And it's like, wow. Okay.
That's why studying history, it just doing it on a surface level is incredibly dangerous. And that's what we do. It's real surface level. Even if you actually read the real thing, it's like, oh my God, wait a second. Does that mean what I think it does?
Yes.
It does. It means that we can enslave human beings in America. Yeah.
Right.
It's perfectly legal.
If you're convicted of a crime, we can enslave you and be done with it. And, you know, Alfred, he said, remember we were talking, right? And what's her name? Jane Elliott said it. She said a lot of the things that's going on is because of the birth dearth.
Yes, yes.
Not too many Black and brown babies are being born. So
too many are being born.
Too many. So what we need to do is we need to slow that down, or we need to do something about that, which is the border wall, getting rid of abortion, because we know the most of the people that's getting abortions are white women.
We gotta force them to have their babies. We need the white babies.
And exactly. So at the end of the day, all these things that we're talking about goes to one thing: biological genocide. And a black man, what's going on, Mahako? And a black man and a black woman can take over all of this.
The dominant genes. You're gonna be more brown. You're gonna be more brown.
They're all gonna look like they, you know, Jussie Smollett. That's how all of them are gonna look anyway.
Yeah, and that was originally our big segregation, the reason for segregation. We had to keep these black men and women and away from each other because my God, we won't know what to call their offspring. My God, we cannot do this. Guys, we got issues. We don't know how to categorize them. How are we going to be halfway racist to them if we they're not really white, but they're not, okay.
But you know what they did? The same thing that they did in Hawaii. You know what they did not Hawaii, I'm sorry. In Haiti. And the same thing they did during slavery. Instead of me whipping you, I'm going to have that mulatto person, that mixed person whip you.
Because the little tiered system there.
Exactly. The tiered system. Exactly. Fear of a black planet. Exactly. Because they think that we think like them. Like, why would I want a white slave? For what? You couldn't even do what you were supposed to do in the beginning. What do I need you for?
Yeah, it's definitely
like white people, we live in white kids rent free. We do, because I'm like, dude, seriously, nobody is thinking about coming to your neighborhood and doing anything. I don't even want to be in your neighborhood. Exactly, Alfred. You keep it work outside. What do I need you? Look here, my husband. Let us go play putt-putt golf. And he looks like a tomato. What do I need you for?
Yeah, and the thing is, I've been around the block. I'm an older woman, and I literally talked to, over the years with my stuff I'm doing online, I've talked to thousands and thousands of non-white people. And I gotta say, unless it's all one big conspiracy, I mean, from every state, like 11 different countries, they're not thinking like what you think they're thinking. Okay? They just want to live and have a life. I mean, just want to have a freaking life and not be like tormented with, what I call systemic racism for me personally is a crime against humanity. It's ongoing. It's terrorism. Because
if I could live my life, literally, wow. Garrick said, I'm sorry. I know I just stopped. He said,
I know, I was reading it too.
Yeah, one of my college professors told me that so many white women get abortion in the Midwest because the babies were black. Pro-life until Annie brings home Tyrone is my humor. But I agree with you. I said that to somebody. I said that. I said, everybody's going to be pro-life until their mistress gets pregnant or until their 14-year-old daughter comes home pregnant by a black dude.
Yep. No, it's we're not pro-life. We're pro-white lives.
Pro-birth.
Well, we're pro-birth. But you see, we're not really pro-taking. Well, I mean, don't even get me started. Okay, I'm going to say it. That's it. Did you know? This is just talk about hypocritical. It's sick. It makes me want to cry. And thank God I didn't know this when I had kids. But did you know that there are most hospitals, many, many hospitals that have babies born have a rule, okay? It is a rule. If your baby is born alive, like gaga goo goo, and it's a certain amount of weeks and days premature,
right?
They don't treat it.
You told me that. Yes.
You hold your child and it dies in your arms. Might take a day, might take 2. It dies in your arms and is not treated. And so I'm sorry, that's not pro-life. Okay? That's pro choosing who lives and who's choosing who dies. So if you are truly pro-life, then you are a person who, yes, I know, T, it's so sick. Don't even, if you look it up, you're going to cry. It's horrible. And it is so true. And it is people who don't know and have it happen. It's like, I can't even go there.
That's what they're doing now with the COVID patients. That's what they're doing now. Yeah. They're doing it exactly because you remember Obama. Right, go to that room, go ahead, die, get it over with. But remember what Obama, if we get Medicare for all, they're gonna have these death panels. We're gonna be choosing who's alive and who's dead. Y'all. But that's what they're doing right now. That's what
doing it anyway.
That's what Cuomo was doing. And remember in Texas, the what's his name? The lieutenant governor. Remember the lieutenant governor? And he was like, let us old people just be on our own. We'll die.
Yeah. Remember that? Sacrifice yourself for the economy. I'm like, I don't think so.
Who? What are you talking about? Nah, dude.
Not gonna be, no, I remember. I actually did a video with a big screen with all these old people looking like, excuse me, what did you say? No, what is this, like Logan's Run? Do you know that movie? Long.
I do remember Logan's Run, and it was
Logan's Run. Jesus. Yeah, until someone decided, you know what? I kind of like life. Anyway, I'm totally off topic to me. Sorry. Okay, should I show that video? Do I show the video? Now you
do it. Do it.
I'll show the video, but you got to like wave me if you want me to stop it.
Because got you.
If you want me to say, okay.
Yeah.
So this is the
video. I got you.
Okay. And let's do this thing. Okay. And if there are mistakes, like just, laugh to yourself, please. Really, seriously, please. I'm asking you because there are going to be mistakes because I made it so fast. It'll get louder.
It's just false, John. Dozens of Capitol rioters were armed. At least 4 of them that we know of had guns on Capitol grounds. Rioters also had things like tasers, baseball bats, axes, batons, bear spray. The list goes on and on. As of last week, according to the Department of Justice, more than 75 people illegally on Capitol grounds have been charged with carrying a deadly or dangerous weapons there. So again, just wrong. And line number 2. The idea that they were actually protesting a rigged election. This Trump lie is impressive to me. It's like a double lie in one sentence. So again, we know the election was not rigged. President Biden won fair and square. Second, this was, of course, no mere protest. Approximately 140 police officers were assaulted. As Chief Judge Howell of the D.C. District Court keeps saying, these were not mere trespassers. They were not people merely exercising First Amendment rights. They came to Washington to disrupt the peaceful transfer of power. Now, another lie. This is a doozy. Look, they're all doozies. Rioters, the idea that they were invited into the Capitol by police. This is ridiculous. There were hours-long pitched battles between police officers desperately trying to secure the building and these rioters. We know that officers still bear mental and physical scars from that day. Now, there were some cases where some officers retreated or stood aside or were trying to politely engage with the rioters because they were so outnumbered. But that's not the same as inviting people in, of course. Then there's the idea that these rioters who are jailed now are non-violent political prisoners. This is a claim that's been made in court by some of the people charged, and it's been consistently knocked down by judges, including at least 2 judges appointed by former President Trump. Of the more than 700 people who have been charged so far, John.
Should I?
Oh, I was just. Did he say non-violent political prisoners?
Yeah. He did.
I didn't want you to stop it. I was just like, I'm in it like, what? I was just like, are you serious, bro? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Here, watch this. I don't know if I wrote that up there.
Just appointed by former President Trump. Of the more than 700 people who have been charged so far, John, the vast majority were released shortly after their arrest. Only a few dozen remain in jail, and those people were detained again by judges, not by liberal zealots in the Biden administration, because they were deemed too dangerous to release, often because they engaged in violent conduct or related to evidence to far-right extremist groups. In conclusion, lie number 5. That this was all some kind of false flag attack. This is almost insulting to Americans' intelligence. We know that this was a mob attack, an insurrection, orchestrated and perpetrated by supporters of former President Trump. We heard them, we saw them that day, and they've confirmed their allegiance to Trump in the social media posts, in the media interviews they've given, and in their own conditions in court. So the idea that this was some sort of secretly plotted attack by left-wing Antifa is ridiculous. Of these more than 700 people charged, not one has shown to have any affiliation with left-wing Antifa. By contrast, John, hundreds of them have been confirmed as supporters of former President Trump, including members and people affiliated with far-right extremist groups, not the far-right, groups like the Oath Keepers, like the Proud Boys, and others. So the false flag idea is insulting and ridiculous. 365 days of lies. That's what we're noting today. Daniel Dale, thank you so much for your work. Thank you. You hear the
Okay.
completely it's just false.
Okay.
What a world to be white. What a world to be white.
I did that real fast. That video was really hard to put together, so I might have some mistakes.
What a world to be white. Because, let's be clear about that. If there was more Black people out there, what do you think would have happened?
Bloody massacre.
Bloodbath. Come on.
They would have murdered every one of them.
They would have murdered every. He pepper sprayed. He bear sprayed. First of all, I want to. First of all, most Black people don't even got bear spray.
The guy the police that got bear sprayed died the next day. That's why he got in trouble. He died the next day from
Like,
like a heart attack or from like a stroke, or I don't know. But I mean, like, he's not a bear, and that's
but
sick.
this is the
And
thing. A lot of them are saying no one was killed out there. Like one, no, seriously.
that's
No one
fucked
was
up, man.
killed out there.
That's
The one had a heart attack. The one guy that they supposedly, the coroner said he didn't die because he was hit with a fire extinguisher.
huh? Uh-huh. Yep.
My husband said, I'm not saying white is better, but clearly being white is clearly better. Louis C.K. I mean, I agree.
Absolutely. Even the little kids in the oh gosh, the Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas. The study they used were the little children with the black doll, white doll experiment, asking these 3 and 4-year-old babies,
Yeah.
which doll's the good doll, which doll's the naughty doll. And they're 3 years old. They haven't even gone to school, some of them.
Yep.
They tell you, because that's what society tells us.
And the thing about it is, Talanda, I guess that would be the best present for you, but it's not going to happen.
God, it would be the best.
Because this is the thing. If that was going to happen, Carolyn Bryant would be in jail.
Yep. Carolyn Bryant.
Right.
The person who saw Emmett Till murder, basically.
Right. Everybody involved, the 3 civil rights workers that was killed, Cheney, Goodwin, and Schwarmer. Everybody involved with the 4 little girls. But it was actually 5. It's only 4 of them that died, though.
Yeah, 5 girls.
4 little girls that, it's not going to happen.
Or bombed and murdered. Right. Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Let's even go to the fact of stand your ground and the women that were Native women that are being murdered and disappearing and nobody's saying anything. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Talanda said, she said, we can go and have a temper tantrum and everything, and they would let them go ahead. Yes. It's not going to happen, babe. It's just really not. I go to this, the Army gives us, which is crazy. It's a race-based trauma group, support group. Do you believe that? So the Army knows.
Absolutely.
They know. And so I was saying, I choose violence. And I don't mean physical violence. I mean, the simple fact of the matter is no longer will I suffer silently. You're going to be uncomfortable in my oppression, just like I am uncomfortable in my oppression.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. Garrick, if Carolyn Bryant admitted she lied, what the fuck was on her mind making a guy?
But so did the killers. The killers admitted that they did it.
Right. They talked about it.
The killers admitted. And I know you're going to talk about Rosewood, but let's be clear. Rosewood happened. It started on the 1st of July. The 1st of January, 1923.
Mm-hmm.
January 1st, 1923. Okay? These people admitted to what they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, yeah. I mean, this stuff.
Fannie Taylor, a white woman, lied and said that a black man assaulted her. She admitted that it was a lie.
It
doesn't matter.
For black people, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's our culture. It's our culture. Well, I don't know if you want to keep jump in with anything more to say. You've been amazing. I just wanted to wrap up the show tonight by saying, first of all, I do not know what will happen tomorrow, the midterms to 2024. But all I can say is when there are nobody held accountable, when nobody is held accountable for what they do, and it's against the law to have an insurrection. And when the president is the person who tells everyone to kind of go do it, and when Facebook and all the other places help to do it, and a team meets and talks about it to do it, and people do it and they don't get punished. And yeah, they are above the law. Okay. That's not a democratic republic. That's not even an oligarchy. That's dictatorship. They're above the law. And right now I know we have people who are absolutely threatening people who are in elections and replacing them with people who will do whatever they want. I mean, I've read so many articles today on what's going on with the upcoming elections. Did you want to say something, Anna?
Oh, no, what I was saying was I was talking to my husband, and my husband said, no, he was saying Kwame Ture said Dr. King's policy was that nonviolence would achieve the gains for Black people in the United States. His major assumption was that if you are nonviolent, if you suffer, your opponent will see your suffering and will be moved to change his heart. That's very good. He only made one fallacious assumption. In order for nonviolence to work, your opponent must have conscience. The United States has none.
No, we have none. Oh, it's absolutely clear we have none. If we did, we'd show everything. I don't want to get into it. Yes, we can end it on that.
But that's the thing. We're appealing to a country. We're appealing to a country's conscience from a country that has no conscience.
No, we won't even admit the things. We won't even. I don't want to go there. There's so much we could say. We will not even admit. So, all right. Well, thank you for tonight. I really am concerned about the welfare of our nation. I think it's probably too late. And I don't know
it's too late. It's a wrap.
Get your passports, people.
I got mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Scary stuff going on. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating and talking to us and listening. And if you believe like I do, that is way past time for white America to step up to the plate and take some racial responsibility, please consider subscribing to the gazillion platforms that I'm now on, because I keep getting kicked off. Okay, including YouTube and Vimeo and Patreon and Twitter and what's it called? TikTok. Yes, TikTok. Yes, that.
TikTok. Get on there.
It's crazy. I can't even do it. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Check out the videos and check out my lady here, who was the star of the show today in her own video. I love that video. That was awesome. That was great. I saw it and I was like, I am so. I didn't even ask. I felt so bad. I'm like, well,
it's okay. You can use anything. Trust me. There's a lot of videos of me yelling at people. It's okay.
I thought that was such a good video. And like, it was like so dramatic. You walked off. It was just like, oh my God. It was great.
Literally, thank PTSD. Thank the Army for PTSD, because that's the reason why, because I forgot the rest of what I was going to say.
It was perfect. I was like, I'm done. Anna out. I was like, wow. Yeah. I was so impressed. I was like, she's good. Wow. Forgot your lines. No, you were amazing. Thank you, my sweet friend.
Love you. Bye. Love you, Talonda. Love you, everybody.
Love you
You're
guys.
amazing.
Thanks for being here.
Bye.
You made the show. Bye. Good night, everybody. Oh my God. If only I could end ours.